I was not ready for what Terrance Howard revealed about his meetings with Sean Diddy, and it's a lot darker than you can imagine. Subscribe to Elites Exposed for more, and just take a look for yourself.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit. Because the man card means everything.
And that hits on something deeper I've always wondered. Why is it that the rap culture in general has always tried to appear overly masculine in its themes and imagery, almost as if it's compensating for something hollow inside? Here's the truth. This is a genre that has come up from inside a culture where the true currency of respect is not competence, but power. When rappers come up from the streets among all the chaos and violence of the gang wars, they understand they're either the predator or the prey in that world. And the fact is, Hollywood and the music industry have almost become a cover for these degenerate power games for the same people. And stripping newer entrants of their dignity is one of the easiest ways to control them, breaking down anyone that dares stand up to the powerful elites up top. Terrance Howard has seen that way up close, and he gave a hauntingly true example from history of precisely that.
You remember that back in the times of slavery, they had a thing called breaking the buck, where they would take, not to go in a bad place, but this is how I see it, what's happening, the parallels with what's happening, correlates what's happening in the business. If they, back in the times of slavery, if they had like some 12-year-old slave that was just full of himself and confident and, wasn't listening, they would tie him to a log or a barrel, and a bunch of the overseers would rape him, to where when he walked around with the slaves now, he didn't have the confidence.
Sure.
He was broken, and it was called breaking the buck.
Wow.
And that's still taking place.
That just gives me chills even thinking about it, because I think it shows you how the elites have long known how threatening a man's masculine boundaries are to a corrupt system, and how the only real way to permanently break him is to humiliate him at his core. And perhaps unlike women, I think it's a breach of boundary that most men never have to think about and would never be able to imagine. There's traces of that all throughout history, all the way from the Assyrians and Romans when they used to parade conquered kings in humiliation rituals, to now the men in Hollywood humiliated in a way that never lets them rise up and challenge the system. When that masculine honor is taken away from you, it's like virtually being castrated into a harmless shell of yourself.
When you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
And Terrance Howard is someone that said no to millions of dollars in the industry to be able to walk away with his masculinity intact. And I'm sure he would make the same choice every single time. But not everyone is as iron-willed as Terrance Howard, which is why you need to watch the bombshell revelations that Cat Williams recently made about Hollywood's inner elites here, and subscribe to Elites Exposed for more.